Hey, this is Alessio coming at you before the episode, just with a quick little announcement. As a thanks for coming on the show, we would like to promote a quick project of Quinton Flynn's here at the front of the episode. Quinton did an awesome audiobook where he voiced multiple characters, and the name of the book is A Night in Jail. You can go to anightinjail.com. You can go to amazon.com and look up A Night in Jail, a story about drugs and mental illness inspired by true events. And likewise, you can find that on Audible. So if you guys would, if you enjoy the interview, consider giving that a listen, and please consider leaving a review for Quinton. So thank you guys so very much, and I hope you enjoy the episode.
Here's to you, dear listeners. Welcome to Metal Gear Mondays, a podcast. I forgot how to introduce a podcast. The most thorough
We're the
podcast.
Simpsons of Metal Gear podcast.
The Simpsons of Metal Gear podcast. No, we're the most thorough Metal Gear podcast on the internet, verifiably guaranteed. And yeah, I'm Sam. I'm your MC for the evening, and I'm joined this time by Alessio Summerfield.
Oh, hi there.
Oh, hi there.
I had
And
no
by
idea that
popular
we were
demand,
recording this.
yeah. Oh!
I just happened to be here.
You caught me. You caught me with my robe.
Oops.
It's very. Woo.
Oh, whoops! My penis fell out. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Let me tuck that back in.
Let me just pack that back in.
Sorry, this interview's got me extra dirty.
Yeah. And by popular demand, Isaac Lim.
Hey, knock knock.
Who's there?
Just me. I'm just at your door.
Oh, hey, Isaac, come on in.
Hey.
Welcome. It's good to have you.
Hey, Sam. Oh, hey, Alessio.
I almost wish that Sam wasn't picking us up from the airport when we landed in Seattle so that we could do some weird shit like this.
Insert airplane noise here.
Okay,
Okay, that works.
Cue it here. I recently, before we get into it, which this is kind of apropos because of who we're talking to this episode, but I recently went back and just basically listened to the entirety of our Metal Gear Solid 2 coverage. That was the origin of a lot of our ongoing jokes, but it was also the origin of the Cue It Here. Alessio did not like that when we first started doing it.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah.
Did you get to the episode, Sam? Did you get to the episode where I cued here, people saying "cue it here," and it just
yeah, it was like "cue it here, cue it here." Yeah, it was like an Ouroboros of "cue it here's." Yeah, definitely got
that was a fun one to edit.
Yeah, it was very good. So yeah, but the real reason why we're here is not to reminisce about old times or be very weird about coming into people's houses, but to talk to a very special guest. You know him very simply as Raiden. We're talking to Quinton Flynn.
Good old Flint and Quinn.
Good old Flint and Quinn. How wild is that? So, of course, for fans of this Metal Gear series, you'll know him as Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 2, 4, and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. But you'll also know him, if you're a fan of Kingdom Hearts, as I am, as Axel or Lee from that series. You'll know him as various other things like Iruka from Naruto and Timon from Timon and Pumbaa, the animated series. What we got into, he was the Human Torch.
Henry.
So he's been in Henry, yes, from No More Heroes, and Reno from Final Fantasy VII, Advent Children, and Crisis Core. Right?
This boy gets around.
He does. He does a lot of really cool stuff, and we got a chance to sit down. We had a very fun interview with him. Talked to him for a good chunk of time, and yeah, we're very excited to present this to you.
Yeah. Just a little bit of context up at the front. We, for whatever reason, for the first time in all of the guest episodes ever that we've been using Zencastr, ran into a little bit of a hiccup. So I just wanted to let everybody know that Quinton is calling in from his telephone, and that we recorded this with the old classic Uber conference. So if you're wondering why things sound like there's a telephone, it's because there is.
It makes us sound like we're NPR, though. You know
Yeah,
what I
it
mean?
sounds very
Like,
legitimate.
our guest on the other line is famous voice actor Quinton Flynn. Quinton, how are you? Wow, I tell you, it's good to be.
But yeah, it's a very good interview. I was very pleased that he jumped on with us tonight. And can I just say, and you guys will hear it, the standout of this entire session for me was hearing Isaac and Quentin simultaneously say, "Did you say nerd?" I think my heart stopped.
It was a little embarrassing.
It's gonna go down as an all-time great, like, Metal Gear Mondays clip. Like, it was perfect. It was perfect.
It was
so
insane.
You got to listen at least for that. But if you're not listening to the whole thing, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, what the
It's
fuck
Quentin
are you
Flynn.
doing? Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing here, man?
This is
Come
Quinton
on.
Flynn uncensored, not unlike Bill Nye on the latest John Oliver episode.
Unplugged.
Beautiful. Safety glasses off, motherfuckers.
I loved it. Anyway, enough about Bill Nye. Let's talk to Quentin.
Before we do that, though, we have a couple of things that we want to kind of get out there. So up at the top, we got into a couple of topics very naturally. So we had a couple of listener questions that I'm currently pulling up at the moment that we did not ask on behalf of, but we wanted to shout these
I know
people
who
out.
I know who they are.
You got them? Okay.
Good old Brandon Parks and Neon Genesis from our Discord, whose real name I am forgetting, and I apologize. But yeah, it was those folks. Quentin just kind of, like, organically, like as Sam put it, just like kind of rolled through those responses, and we didn't want to take up his time asking the same thing, but slightly differently. So we could not ask those. So apologies to you guys.
But you'll be pleased to know he did talk about the process of taking Raiden through his various stages of character development. So it's a very lovely interview, and we had a lot of fun.
It was great.
And one more thing before we go, we have to do our thing, and you know we do. If you'd like to support us, you know what? We have a lot of social media. We have a Patreon. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. Go to MetalGearMondays.com. Everything's there.
Love it.
Subscribe to our YouTube.
Yeah. I think as of time of recording, I have gotten uploaded all the way up to episode 70 on the YouTube. So we have now officially passed the point in which Metal Gear Mondays went on a hiatus on the YouTube. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and I feel like we keep gaining a few subscribers a day. We are edging ever closer to 100. But if you're listening to this, even if you don't use YouTube for that kind of thing, feel free to just throw us a little sub. That'd be great.
Yeah. Alessio, where can they find you on the internet?
AC Summerfield. That is my handle. That is my nom de plume on PSN.
Nom de guerre?
PSN, Steam, fucking everything. Probably Xbox Live, I think. Twitter, Instagram. I don't know. Website. That's just what it is.
Sada.com there at the end. And Isaac, what about you?
Hey,
let me take a guess.
Don't guess, Alessio.
I was being pedantic. Go ahead, Isaac.
Hey, just go to Doesn't Have a Twit, and I'll be there.
He may not tweet, but he's watching and waiting at all times. So,
I'll be
and you can find me
for
on.
You.
Yep, there it is.
And you can find me on Twitter at Sandul. That's SANJUUL. I tell you what, listening back to the old episodes, hearing my old Twitter handle was very jarring to me. So it's Sandul now. Check that out. It's been Sandul for a while.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So yeah, and now let's dive in
with Quinton Flynn. I'm sorry, I had to because it rhymed. Well, I'm very excited, Quentin, to have you and Sam both on the line because you guys are both Buckeyes.
Yeah, man.
I wanted to ask, how did you get to the West Coast from Ohio?
That's an excellent question. My cousin's car. That would be the answer. I was 10 months out of university. I'd been to Chicago and checked out Second City. I'd been to New York City and I'd checked out Manhattan. And then my cousin wanted to move to LA, And at the time, it was '88, and the Sunset Strip was banging, and it was all the hair metal bands. And he'd been in a band of mine in the Cleveland area, and at the time, I was doing sound for other bands, and I'd taken a couple commercial workshops for voiceover and on camera. I'd been a video host during an internship in college that was cablecast in the Cleveland area in New York. And I knew I was going to be in the entertainment business. That was my dream. So I thought, my dad really wants me to get a job, and he's chapping at my hide. My cousin really needs a friend on the ride across country, so why don't I go check out L.A., the third and final city, and make a decision? And I got out there, or I got out here, because that's where I am, and turned into a permanent vacation. My cousin, this is back before cell phones, even pagers, and I went and got my rental car, and I'm following my cousin onto the 405, which you guys wouldn't know about unless you lived out here, but it's huge and packed. And suddenly he disappeared, and we had no contact, so I didn't know where he was going. He didn't know where I was going. And I had a few connects from the Cleveland area, and so I guess I must have gone to a phone booth. Yes, back in the day, there were phone booths, fellas.
What are those?
I know, what are those? Tell them you were around. And I called up one of these guys from Cleveland. We met and had lunch, and he said, his name was Phil Landrico. He's like, oh, yeah, you got to come over and meet my sweetie. I'm like, all right, I'm happy to meet your sweetie. And I met his sweetie, and before I knew it, they said, we need an extra roommate. You need a place? I thought, yeah, because I don't know where my cousin is. I think I'll stay for a while. And so my decision was made pretty quickly. And I've always said to people that I thought, well, it's going to be a struggle in the beginning. And if I'm going to struggle, I may as well struggle where the weather is good. And ultimately, I knew that LA was the entertainment capital and the Mecca. So had I gone to Chicago and gone the Second City route, which would be improv comedy, I was then looking to hit Saturday Night Live in New York, or get to Hollywood. So I just kind of cut out the middleman and said, "This is it."
Now, did you ever find your cousin?
Eventually, within a couple of months. I don't know why neither one of us were smart enough to call home and ask our moms to call each other. But by the time someone was clever enough to do that, I think Franklin's mom told him that I was living in California. And he's like, what? So he contacted me, and I said, yeah, the place I've been staying, these people are all moving out. So I need a roommate. And he's like, dude, I got to get, can I curse on this show or no?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Let
like, dude, I got to get the fuck out of this place. I am screwed, glued, and tattooed. I'm sleeping on a couch, and it's short, and I'm long. And I said, all right, come on down to Hollywood, man. And, I forget what, I don't remember what the hell it was. And so, we took the place over. And then, like Quentin Tarantino, I started working in a video store.
Ooh.
Oh, awesome. Was it like a local one, or was it like a chain like Blockbuster?
No, it was a local one. It was called what the hell was it called? Because it was, why am I blanking on this? This is strange, because I did end up working for a chain called Warehouse Entertainment. That was a chain out here on the West Coast. Before that, in Mayfield Heights, outside of Cleveland, I worked at Video Visions. And the name of the video store that I first worked at in Hollywood was what? I can't remember it. It's going to come to me like in the middle of this interview.
It's like a Jeopardy question.
It is. I should know it, because I remember the owner. His name was Reza. That's right. Quinton, it's a pleasure to have you. And your store manager is Mary Cowley, and she was from England.
Oh.
And,
it's a very diverse video store.
It was, right out of the bat, off the bat, and it was this video store that you'd go into this Ralph's supermarket, and as soon as you went into the Ralph's, immediately to your left inside was this video store. And back then it was VHS. It was pre-DVD and massively stocked. So yeah, I needed a job, and that was my first job. Yeah, and then my cousin needed a job, so I've got him a job there. And then there was, of course, Jersey Mike, and then there was Filipino Frank. There was the beautiful Asian Dawn Mura, whom I would love to know where she is today. Then there was this local guitarist, Rick, and this guy, this bass player from the north. I mean, it was just a trip.
You have a very good memory for names.
It sounds like a sitcom waiting to happen.
I think it is. Here's a strange thing, when you meet people, if you have the same last name, like if your last name's Phillips, and Phillips, like, hey, are you guys related? Right? That's common.
Yeah.
Well, here's how stupid people are that I meet. They go, what's your name? I said, Quinton. They go, like Tarantino? And like, yeah, no, like Flynn. They go, yeah. They're like, yeah, but are you guys related? So, did you hear what you just said? No,
well, let me go ahead and scratch that question off of our list then, real quick.
Yeah, right. Let me school you, gentlemen. The last name or the surname, as they would talk in English, that would be the matching names. Ding, 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 ding. Not the first name, and our first names are spelled differently. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, yeah. I was trying to be clever, and you know.
So, what was your first role? Like, how did you break into doing voice acting? Was that like something that you knew you wanted to do, or was it just like a happenstance?
It was kind of a byproduct. I'm what they call in England an all-rounder, which is someone who's kind of a triple threat, actor, singer. And I wouldn't call myself a dancer. In the dance world, I would say I'm a mover. I can move, but I can't. I wouldn't call myself a dancer. That would be a lie. So, I was doing a band at the time, and I was doing improv comedy. I had done some voiceover stuff in Cleveland, some commercial classes, because I saw that and I thought, geez, I've been doing impressions since I was a kid. Maybe there is a foray. And while I was working, I saw an ad for an animation workshop in Hollywood led by a gentleman by the name of Bob Bergen. And Bob has been famously known for many years now as the voice of Porky Pig. And so he was my first link into the voiceover world. And he gave me great tools and great skills that enhanced the abilities I had, and made a strong suggestion that I consider pursuing it as a career. But it would be a number of months later when my then girlfriend said to me, you're doing many things, including extra work, stand-in work. Got great stories about that stuff. Yeah, I stood in for Luke Perry. I stood in for Paul Rubens, who was Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, wow.
I was in the Guns N' Roses November Rain video.
Oh, wow.
But I was doing all these things, and my girlfriend at the time said, if you pick one thing, nail it, then you can branch out. But if you're trying to shotgun it, you're going to have a hard time. And she said, you did so well in that voiceover class. You're so adept. Why don't you, apply your money to that and your skills and see what happens? And that was it. I went, you know what? You're right. I'm that smart. I'm going to give it a shot. And it took some time. Put together a voice demo. Got a letter of referral from Mary Lynn Wisner, who was doing a lot of casting back then and production. She's an actress. She's a teacher currently. And we did a demo. She gave me a letter of referral. And again, kind of like the old Hollywood movies, I'm walking around, just banging the pavement and knocking on doors. Hey, how are you? Quinton Flynn here. Here's my demo. I'd like to meet you. And then in the face, the door. But eventually I found one place and they needed my type and they liked me, and we had a meeting and we had an interview and I auditioned for them and they offered me representation and I said yes. And that was Sandy Schnarr Talent, who today is called AVO Talent.
Oh, interesting.
So that's kind of a short story. But that took probably a good 3 years of my time in Hollywood to get that, because I was also doing some production work for CBS for shows in development. So I did a lot of things. Video store, and then moved out into the valley, did a video and music store. And by then, CDs were happening, and then eventually DVDs. Well, I chucked that for the production job at CBS, and they gave me an opportunity. I was first a PA, a production assistant, then a production coordinator, and then on one program, I was able to work with the producers. So I was working in an associate producer capacity without the pay or the title.
That sounds like LA.
Yeah, well, I took it as an education.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was given an option by an executive producer who found out that I had signed to an agency and I was auditioning. That's why my lunches were so long. And she said, Quinton, what are you going to do? You going to be a producer or are you going to be an actor? Now, today, given that question, I would say a producer. Back then, it wasn't like it is today where talent become producers and executive producers produce shows and more shows and more shows. You kind of had to pick one thing and just live in it. So when I moved out to Hollywood, as I said, to be an entertainer, well, I just had to be honest with her and say, I'm going to be an actor. She was disappointed, and so was the gentleman who oversaw the company, and that was it for me. That was it. Then it was time to really commit. And yeah.
Welcome to the world.
What's that?
I said, welcome to the world.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's been the same thing for years. My job is to audition. So my job is to interview for jobs. I'm a professional job seeker. And then I book gigs over the years, and then I make some money, and they come out, and now we find ourselves, 30 years after the fact, and change. And it's I've had this really interesting career with characters people have grown up on, and it's taken me to conventions all over the world. And I still find it surreal myself today. This is not what I planned. It's like, no, it isn't. And that's okay. Just roll with it.
Yeah, I was looking at your filmography, and it's quite stacked, to say the least.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, what's your process on how you pick and choose projects, and what your thought process is?
Well, honestly, the way it works today is the same as it did in the old days. It's copy comes in, and our agents know what our skill sets are, and pass it along, and they give us opportunities, and we read for them. And then if we get booked, we usually say yes. There hasn't been a job I've ever turned down, although occasionally there are people who will turn jobs down for particular reasons or idiosyncrasies. And then, like in a series like Metal Gear or Kingdom Hearts, I've had characters who've been recurring. They've come back over time, and I've been grateful that they've had me back. Or when I've done an animated series, then I'm a regular. You do that for the run, or semi-recurring or guest. But no, in fact, no one I know, except perhaps the top 1% of megastar movie actors, they're probably the only ones who get to actually make those kind of choices. Talking a handful of actors. The rest of us, we network, we work, we look for work. Many of us also try to create content for more work. And sometimes we're offered a guest spot on a show. So we've had offers, but I don't get to sit here in an ivory tower and go, Let's see. Who shall I play with today? I think I'll call the people over at Simpsons. Maybe I'll call it Seth MacFarlane and see what he's doing.
That's so amazing.
Quinton, what would you say is the most difficult role that you've had throughout your career?
Being myself.
Hey, that's a fair response.
That's a good
answer. Yeah, it's true. Because I grew up trying to become everything everybody else wanted, so that everybody would like me, and also deflecting through humor is a great way to avoid any conflict or controversy, whether in the home, school, and then eventually I found the workplace, and I just had this ability to do impressions of other people and impressions of impressionists' impressions. So I kind of became, this non-entity entity, and found myself out here doing things like replacing Nathan Lane as the voice of Timon for the TV series Around the World with Timon and Pumbaa. And, just kind of segueing in and out of different characters, and people are like, God, that doesn't sound like you. I'm like, yeah, that's the idea. And I'd read for commercial copy at the time. They'd say, be yourself. And I used to go, fuck, man, I don't know who I am. And so finding my own voice, like my authentic voice as a human being, and my voice print as a person, that became my greatest challenge. So I've gone backwards, where many other people have had to learn how to create a voice, or build a character. I can just, pull them from anywhere and kind of mix and match and do mashups.
Would you say that some of your favorite roles in the past have been ones where you can kind of take on sort of the true Quinton voice, or was it one of the other roles?
Yeah, in recent years, I prefer being me, because the closer it is to me, well, then the easier the choices are, the more authentic the performance is going to be, the less direction I'm going to get in terms of minutia or opinion. It's hard to direct somebody away from themselves. You can give them minor adjustments, but sometimes if I'm doing a character that has a strong regional dialect or is a sound-alike, it depends on the people on the other side of the glass and their opinions. If they're strong, they may really try to push and pull, and they may have a different idea about it. And that's where there can be some kind of conflict that I have to be able to negotiate, because I'm there to serve the greater purpose of the project. But I also want to honor the character I'm doing and the performance. So I have to kind of table my ego and pride, listen to what they're saying, and usually split the difference. And that usually happens more with sound-alikes than it does with character roles or myself. Reno from Final Fantasy is closer to me, wisecracking guy. Axel, more like me. Iruka Sensei from Naruto, more like me. Raiden from the Metal Gear series started out like me, kind of youngish, and then changed in Metal Gear Solid.
You mean to tell me that you're not a cyborg ninja?
I am, or I'm not.
You mean to tell me that you're not? This is what I've been expecting this whole time.
Yeah. Today I am
actually,
a cyborg ninja.
That was excellent.
So,
thank you.
You mentioned Reno. That actually is a perfect lead into one of our listener questions. Cole Duncan, he says he was particularly fond of your portrayal of Henry in No More Heroes and Reno in the Final Fantasy series. He was wondering, do you have any favorite characters from those franchises?
You mean between Henry and Reno?
So maybe I think just in general, like within the franchises, like I guess I'll rephrase it as if you could play any other character in those series, which one would you want to do?
Well, I would always want to play the one I've played.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, I've been waiting for them to bring Henry back, and I don't know why they're not. I don't know if they're not that clever. The fans out there love Henry, and he's a gas man. Right,
Yeah, I was going to ask. I know Suda51's been teasing that a No More Heroes 3 might appear on the Switch, and Henry was notably absent from Travis Strikes Again. So I was going to ask if we could get any juicy exclusives from you.
Yeah, I don't have it, unfortunately, because what they tend to do is keep it a secret. But the thing is, as I've said before, when I'm at Q&A panels and at conventions, I say, those of you who are fans or in the media, you kind of have your ear to the ground, and you usually hear about it before I do, or see content before I do. So you'll know before I do, and what you just told me, I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
Actors are usually the last to know because we're the last to be brought on board to record in the process. And then we have to sign a non-disclosure agreement saying we won't say anything because they want to keep everything tight so that they can, do what they did with that trailer, have teasers and kind of build it, promote it, get people excited about it, maybe have pre-orders with as much secrecy as possible to create as much excitement as possible for it to be kind of a gift that you open, like on Christmas morning. You don't know what you're getting, but you know it's going to be good. And
so what you're saying is,
then we're allowed to speak about it.
What you're saying is there's a possibility.
Yeah, sure.
It's always a possibility.
Yeah,
so this might be
right through me.
This might be barking up the wrong tree then, but is there anything you could potentially tell us about the Final Fantasy VII remake they're doing?
No, same thing. I've been waiting, and I tell anyone who's asking, I'd love to be in it. I can't see any reason why I shouldn't be in it. Now I hope they'll put me in it. Please, if anyone's listening, I want to come back. I want to play. So yeah, I can tell you I have not been contacted. That much I can tell you. And I even checked in with my agent about it. He hasn't heard anything, so we don't know. And because I don't know, and I can say I haven't signed anything, so I don't know. I really don't know anything. Yeah,
well, we appreciate you answering those questions.
Nothing.
So we appreciate you answering those questions, even though they were definitely slow-pitched softball questions.
A little.
No, okay. Yeah, believe me, I wish I knew.
Yeah.
But at least I can say honestly that I don't know anything, and I'm not lying. That feels good.
That is a nice feeling.
Real good. So in the waiting
is the hardest part.
When you're waiting for these, what do you have, like a dream project that you're like thinking of, or a role that you want to play, or anything that you are thinking of, like a goal? And it doesn't have to be, I guess, film related. It could be like, I want to run a marathon. I want to do this and that,
Well, yeah. I'm also a singer and songwriter, and I've got a couple songs in the hopper. So I've always fancied the idea of putting out an album. At the very least, I've made a decision that I'm going to release 1 or 2 singles, and everything's via the internet these days. So obviously it'll be a digital release, and we've just cut a music video for one of them, which I'm excited about. And I don't know when that stuff's coming out. That's all on me, really, because the way it is these days, unless you're signed to a label, which that's very unusual. it's a DIY thing, and so I'm kind of in charge of it all. So at this point, I don't have a release date, but that's definitely what I want to do. I love performing. I actually play at a club out here called the Viper Room.
Ooh,
Every
nice.
Monday night, I do. I'm part of the Sunset Jam, and usually do about 3 songs each time with some of the greatest musicians in Los Angeles who are from all over the place. And so that's something I'd like to do. Again, I'd love to have Henry and Reno come back for real. And I have a sitcom that I've started writing with a friend of mine named Richard Harrell that I would love to see finished and be able to pitch it. It would be an on-camera live-action sitcom starring me. And if they wanted it to star someone else and I get to be executive producer, that's fine. I've learned my lesson, as we now know. Do you want to be an actor? And do you want to be a producer? How much are you going to pay me? And do I get, does my name stay attached? If it stays attached, yes, because then I can produce more. I've learned that from the Russo brothers, who do, everything in the Marvel universe, it seems.
Yeah.
A couple of Cleveland plays.
Yeah, the movie that finally overtook Titanic.
Right. Who knew?
Yeah. That's wild. I had no idea that you played out in the Viper Room. I've got a couple friends that live out in LA, so the next time I'm down there, I'll definitely have to swing by. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. It's Monday Night Jam. Starts at 10, goes to about 1:30, 1:45. And the only reason I wouldn't be there is if I was out of town for a convention.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, if we have any listeners out in the area, they should definitely go check that out as well.
Yeah, and when I do my Q&A panels, then you get to see my improvisational stand-up comedy abilities. So I like to inform, educate, and entertain. The same way I'm working with you cats.
The triple threat. I love it. Quinton, I feel like we've been pushing this off. I mean, we do love to take the beginning of these interviews to just really, really get to know people and get to know the industries that you guys work in, and just kind of educate and inform the audience as well. But I feel like we've been pushing this off quite a bit. I want to ask, now that we're drifting more into Metal Gear territory, how in the world does it feel to be on a production for something like MGS2 when you're coming from Aladdin and Timon and Pumbaa, of all things?
Well, it's interesting because I'd also done The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. And that was great because as a kid, I watched the reruns of that 60s series, the 1960s Johnny Quest. And so we did a reboot in 1996. It was like 30 years to the day. And I loved being Johnny. It was great. And so
That's awesome.
then, Dad, where's Haji? Come on, Johnny. He's probably in IT right now, making more money than you.
Oh man, this is the one with the this is the one that had like the 3D effects and stuff, isn't it? The Real Adventures. Yeah,
right.
I watched the show. Yeah, this is awesome. I had no idea.
Yeah, there were 2 seasons. The first season was J.D. Roth. I had guested on that episode. And they had a British director who had never seen the series, didn't want to know about it. They weren't very happy, Hanna-Barbera, with what was going on. The characters, aside from J.D., were very different. And so they brought in Lance Falk and Larry Houston, who I had worked with on the Fantastic Four when I played Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. And those guys knew Johnny Quest inside and out. So the day they happened to come in, I was doing pickups for a character for my guest spot. And they said, would you read the lines for Johnny for us? And I did. And they said, you know what? Season 2, he's our Johnny. So they recast everyone and made the characters more like the original 60s, but like you said, with the kind of updated 3D effect. So season 2 was the banner season, just like season 2 of the Fantastic Four, in which I had replaced Brian Austin Green as the Human Torch.
So what you're saying is we got to bring you in to replace me for the next season of this podcast.
That's it, Sam. You got it.
Perfect.
That's what I do. I replace people. The reason I told you that story is because the director, Chris Zimmerman, who goes by Chris Zimmerman Salter these days, she was holding the casting session for Metal Gear Solid 2. And when I came in, I looked at the picture of the character and the description, and she said, "Okay, I want you to do this, Quinton, but he's younger, but he's not Johnny young. He's a little older, but he's still a rookie. So, I don't want him to be as youngish as Johnny, but I don't want him to be as, maybe headstrong or sharp as you." And I said, "Okay." So, we kind of played with it back and forth until she got what she wanted from me. And fortunately, what I gave them is what fit the role. They approved of it. And then I became this character, Raiden, in this game series, Metal Gear, in MGS2, that I knew nothing about. I knew nothing about it. So, I just kind of was walking in, and, they gave me these phone book-sized scripts. If anybody remembers phone books, hey, remember phone books, Jimmy? They were wonderful.
They're in the phone booths.
Available in the phone booth, yes. You'd have ink on your fingers and everything. So, yeah, that, again, pre-digital. So we had to go through everything and highlight everything. And in that case, I worked with no more than 2 other actors at the same time in an ensemble. I remember working with David Hayter, just the 2 of us. And I remember we were reading lines, and we would have to chase a kind of a digital image, a frequency or a waveform, if you will, at the time. We weren't actually seeing anything to dub into. It was a timing thing. But, David had already done Metal Gear, and he knew all about it. He was all about it. But I didn't have a clue. I just knew, I'm like, all right, this is a cool new video game. I went from Mr. Fossey and Monkey Island to this. And I'm like, this seems to be kick ass. So I was pretty excited about the thing. I had no idea what I was getting into. I didn't know where it was going to go.
Yeah. It's really funny that you mentioned that on top of the joke about replacing people thing, because of course Raiden was an original character for the series, but before it had come out, nobody had any idea that Raiden was going to be the character you played as for the bulk of the game. So were you aware of like that kind of dichotomy of that and the kind of the feedback that it got from the fans?
No. They told me nothing. Which was probably a good thing. And then once it came out, someone interviewed me at the time and said, what are your feelings about the backlash against your character? Like, what are you talking about? I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea. And I said, well, and it's a silly quote, and it's, I think it's on IMDb or somewhere in the universe there that says, the only thing I'm aware of is for and against. And then I just would add to that, the people who were for it were pretty happy. Those who were against it, I guess they were adamant, but no one was coming up to me on the street or bothering me in a diner going, "You suck. I fucking hate you, man. Screwed us." That would come later when I would show up at conventions. And then, but of course, over time with Metal Gear 4 and then eventually Revengeance, people's opinions and attitudes shifted over time from, "Man, we got screwed. We didn't know we were going to be playing through you. Didn't really like you at all," to, "I always liked you. Never mind what anybody said. I always liked you, man. You were my favorite."
Yeah,
like,
fans
really?
are kind of like drunken frat boys in that way, I think.
Right. You're right. I'm like, what are you asking me out? What are you doing? Trying to get my pants? Get away from me. So, yeah, I said, what is it that you were attracted to? The naked cartwheeling? Is that?
I know I was.
So
Yeah,
you are
of course.
aware of the naked cartwheeling, Quinton?
Eventually I was, yeah.
Eventually.
Hiding his junk. And if it appeared, it would be like a Ken doll, anatomically incorrect.
Right. So people hack that stuff so they can see. People are very weird.
Oh, I know. They're all about it. They want to see it. Like, is it there? Is it not there? Is it there? Is it not there? I think I can see it. I think I can see it. Well, if you want to see it, then you can see it. And if you want to play in a box, go play in a box.
Perfect.
Right.
Yeah, I think you just summed up Metal Gear in a nutshell, Quentin.
Yeah.
Like from top to bottom. I think, yeah, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Was it-
But what I didn't tell you is that when I was auditioning for, because I had to audition again for Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh, okay.
I think they had
Really?
up front, and they had like a secret audition. And I got in, and I didn't know what I was auditioning for. And it wouldn't be until I was in front of a camera with an American team on one side, a Japanese team on the other side that had me up on Skype, that I eventually was keen or aware that they were doing something different than what I believe I had in my hands, because the direction changed. And after the audition, and I got back to my agents, they said, "Do you know what you had just auditioned for?" And I said, "No, what?" And I said, "The sequel, Metal Gear Solid 4, rather." I said, "Well, no one told me that. It's ridiculous." And I had to kind of age the character up, which I go, "That's no problem. I can do this stuff in my sleep." And then I think they brought in some new folks to cast, and I think they brought Chris back. And then I went in again to audition and nailed it. And they were very happy to know that I had the range to be able to turn him into the world-weary, war-torn cyborg ninja that he became. And then, of course, they developed his relationship with Rose. And, hey, spoiler, they got a kid. Or did they?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Then that was a very powerful moment for me. Meeting the child, I remember that being very intense. And then Rising of Vengeance, when that came out later, and just, being a total ass kicker, and taking, Jack the White Devil as dark as he could possibly be. Now it's time for Jack to let her rip. I mean, that was awesome, I thought, I'm getting as maniacal as I possibly can to do the right thing,
Yeah.
And then when he's Jack, and he's a little more mature than he was when he was in 2. And he's a little hipper. He's got a nice tailored suit. He's got great hair. And then, of course, when he went to Mexico, he was trying to hide in a sombrero and a poncho.
I love that.
I have expressed that as my favorite moment in any video game.
Is that your favorite? Yeah.
It has to be.
Definitely.
Because Raiden, he takes off the sombrero and you go, "Adios, amigo," as he like descend into the sewer. It's the most surreal thing, and I love it so much.
Yeah,
It's wonderful.
Me too. We had fun with that. I loved it. It was really tongue in cheek, and I love comedy, so I was like, we got to play this. We're going to play this the right way. So, never mind my
Oh
cyborg dog.
God.
Yeah. I think we're very much we are proponents of Rising being a very underrated gem.
I agree with you.
Oh, definitely. I love that game.
And I'm proud of it. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. Did you ever expect the character Raiden to just blow up like it did over the years, and even to have its own game pretty much after him? Because that's pretty wild after all these years.
Yeah, I mean, real transition between all 3 characters, really. It was kind of like the difference between a 1966 Mustang moving into the 90s and now moving into the aughts. And you're like, well, it's still a Mustang, but man, it's changed, but it's still cool. And I never saw it coming, and I had no idea how much of an impact it would have, all over the globe. I mean, I was in Saudi Arabia less than 6 weeks ago, and they're huge Metal Gear fans over there. Huge.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. I was in Scotland, England, Ireland. Again, huge. They also love Kingdom Hearts in the West, and I'd say over in England, Ireland, Scotland as well, Canada, and here and everywhere in the States. But over in the Middle East, Metal Gear was the bigger, bigger one that they really, really, really latched onto. And I've seen some tattoos over time. I received an email from some fan who said that she was going to get a tattoo of Raiden, and I thought, wow, I'd seen some Axel tattoos and some Kingdom Hearts stuff, but I didn't know anyone would, go the full Jack. And it's pretty cool.
Somewhat along those lines, and I know that you'd kind of just made an allusion to like a Mustang and how it's the same old Mustang but kind of different. Our listener Tori Cortez wrote in, and she wanted to know how your personal relationship with the character of Raiden changed from like game to game. Like, what did you kind of make any sort of discoveries, or what was it like to sort of live in that character's skin through all these different changes?
Yeah, I mean, again, and this kind of goes back to the top of the conversation I had with you guys when I was saying that I'm very adept at taking on characters, switching hats, morphing, mashing up, and adjusting. That was something I had to be able to do to please the writers and producers. So each time I worked on it, with the director, and every time it was Chris, until we found Raiden's voice and point of view. And yeah, of course, it changed from 2 to 4 radically. And I remember very little about 2. I remember the sessions. I remember the recording sessions. But I've not looked at any playthroughs lately. So I don't really remember much of the dialogue, except people, for some reason, want me to say, Colonel, we've managed to avoid drowning.
So that's another thing. I just got done listening to our coverage of 2 that we did several years ago, and there are 2 lines in that game. One of them is Paul Eating as the Colonel, and then you is that line, and then Paul Eating saying, "The president needs you." I think.
I think.
Yeah, that's why we love it so much.
That's great, and I wish I would have been able to say, "You think?"
That's actually the perfect, because another one of our favorite lines of yours from that game, and Isaac's gonna hate this, but we have a running gag on our podcast. Very, let's say, quote, great impression of you saying.
Oh, you're starting to break up.
That it.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Same.
A little bit.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, my bad. Can you hear me?
Yep, there you go.
Okay,
Hey,
perfect. No, okay. No, one of our running gags is that Isaac has a great impression. I'd say that there's a heavily memed reference line about the note in Metal Gear Solid 2 when codes, and
You're breaking up again.
did you say?
Oh, no, Sam.
God, I'm destined to never ask this question.
Do you want me to
I
take
really
it?
want
Apparently,
I'll take
I
it
want
for
to hear
Sam.
the story. I want to know the question. I want to hear it. I want to know it.
Marinate on it.
yeah, I'm gonna pitch it. I'm gonna pitch it over to Alessio.
Perfect. Hey, sorry, I'm kidding. Alessio's here. Hey, Quinton. So I think what Sam was talking about is for several years now we've had a running gag on our podcast. And that gag is that Isaac has air quotes, a fantastic impersonation of a line of yours. And I would feel like we did a disservice if we didn't have you guys pit a line reading against each other of the line, "Did you say nerd?"
Yeah, I don't remember it, so he's got to go first.
All right, Isaac, show Quinton your best Quinton impersonation.
Please.
This won't be embarrassing at all.
This is quite embarrassing.
Don't.
Are you ready?
Okay. Go for it.
Did you say nerd?
That's good. Now let me try it. Did you say nerd?
Oh,
Did you say nerd?
I think
Did you
Quinton
say
gets.
nerd? There you go. Let's give you 3 in a row. That's what give it director.
A couple. Do you remember doing that line at all? It was
No recollection.
weird.
really?
Yeah.
It was
Just in the book.
it was right
you guys-
at the beginning. It was very.
Oh, you guys are breaking up again.
Oh,
Sam.
we're gonna have to.
It must be me.
Oh, you're
Basically,
fine.
the colonel asks, or he's like, "Hey, you need to get to the node." And Raiden
Right.
says, "Did you say
You say
nerd?"
Yeah. Nerd? No, Raiden, no. Oh, why didn't you say
That's it.
dummy?
Quinton, I wanted to ask you, just because as fans of the series are definitely pretty aware, I think at this point, Metal Gear is a little convoluted when it comes to releases. Almost as convoluted as Kingdom Hearts, one might say.
Yeah.
But Metal Gear Solid 2... Metal Gear Solid 2 had a bunch of different releases. Did they call you back in to record any new lines for Substance or any of the subsequent re-releases of 2? Do you know?
Oof. We'd have to go to legal for that because I don't remember. Yeah. If there was anything new, then yes. If they were just pickups, then no. Yeah.
Okay, that makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I have kind of a weird follow-up, I guess. It's really ironic to me that Kingdom Hearts has so many sound-alikes for all of the Disney characters, and you're such a good sound-alike. It's crazy that you got your own original character.
I
know. Were you shell-shocked by that?
Well, I kind of, sort of. I mean, I thought it was odd, the mix of... I'd never understood in the beginning Disney, Square Enix, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I did this crossover production, so I guess I assumed incorrectly that, my character was part of the Square Enix bunch, but it seems that Disney owns everything, so I assume that now he's part of Disney. But I did find it odd, because I had done Mickey Mouse before, although I don't believe I did a Mickey before I first did Axel. And of course, I did Timon, and there have been a number of Timons since I replaced Nathan Lane. But yeah, the thing that has been the most gratifying for me is being this character who has turned out to be a fan favorite. And again, not dissimilar to Raiden, has grown quite a bit and has gone through changes that really none of the other organization members have. And then the other Disney characters like Mickey's still Mickey, and Goofy's still Goofy, yeah, and Donald's still Donald, and Timon's still Timon, and you can go into all those worlds, and those characters are still who they are. But I'm satisfied and gratified with the fact that I have a character who gets to change, gets to shift, makes a difference, and in this last incarnation got to break the fourth wall, with a little humor.
Hell yeah, he did.
And when Jiminy Cricket jumped up and he's like, what the? Come on, are you kidding me? So yeah, no, I'm blown away. I'm actually looking at a couple of little Axel figurines that fans gave me here in my place, and yeah, the interesting thing is how it is today, and people come up to me and they go, you really sound like him, and I go, yeah.
No kidding.
Good reason for that. And actually, because they're comfortable with me as Axel, I think Axel has become more of me over time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I feel like I got to sneak in another Kingdom Hearts question in here because Metal Gear and Kingdom Hearts are two of my favorite video game series.
Oh, cool.
What did it feel like to finally, like, it had been like so many years to come back and finally like wrap up that story in 3?
Well, it was great. I just wanted more.
Yeah.
We were recording, and I go, "This is it." I'm like, "Come on, got to do more." I thought more in the game. I wanted there to be more, and then I thought, okay, well, there's got to be a sequel to this. Certainly, I kind of think of it like Star Wars. I can go in many different places. Other people have said to me, "Nope, that's it." So really, you think so? I mean, well, it's Disney we're talking about, and they mean, people probably said the same thing about Star Wars back in the day. Like, that's it.
Yeah. Well, having played it and beaten it thoroughly, I don't think that it is it.
Oh, well, there you go. You're a true professional. And that's what I've said to folks who are gamers. I said, you guys are the pro gamers. I'm the pro actor. The whole 9 yards, and you're really better equipped to be able to, have those intuitive thoughts and make those kind of statements. Even though I've just made the same one, but I actually feel more confident and comfortable now that you've said it. Yeah.
Well, perfect. That's what I aim for.
Yeah, man. And I just want to go back to Metal Gear for a moment because I was very proud of the fact that I was bestowed with the BTVA award for best male lead performance in a video game as Raiden in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. So BTVA is behind the voice actors, and so to get best lead role award for that was
that's awesome.
Fantastic honor. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'd love
awesome.
to see Kingdom Hearts up for some awards or Axel, but who knows?
That's awesome. I think there's no coincidence that you and actually we should be talking to Debbie Mae West, who voices Meryl, a little bit later in the month. It's no surprise to me that you guys' performances have both won awards. I feel like Metal Gear in general has had a very strong voice cast over the years, so I would say it's definitely deserved. So you did a hell of a job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, and I agree with you. It's been a tremendous cast, and I've been able to work with just wonderful people, most of whom I've known, a few of whom I didn't, but a pleasure with each and every one of them. And
speaking of people, have you ever had the chance to meet Hideo Kojima?
No, I've been asked that question before. We've never met, although he sent me a lovely letter, personally signed, after one of the recording sessions I had done for him. Now, David's met him, I believe, numerous times, and I think was in on working with him at some point. So to the best of my knowledge, he doesn't speak English or speaks very little. So there would be an interpreter. And that's why when people say, "Are you sure you haven't met him?" I go, "Yeah, I'm sure."
everybody's pushing us towards David. It's like they're trying to tell us something.
Well, David was so into it. Yeah. From the get-go, I guess. He knows a lot more about it than I do. I think just because of his involvement and his passion for it. So I don't know how he got involved or close to Hideo, but I believe he had input, at some point. But I don't know the specifics. It's kind of generally what I know. And and I don't know if any of the other cast members have met him. I don't think so. Unless
we're coming up on no so far to the people we've talked to. So.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So unless he would be in town for a particular event where we would happen to be, no. Like I said, I know he and David had some conversations and maybe worked together. There's also I'm a writer as well, but David is, he's done X-Men. What's the other one I'm blanking on?
I think he worked on Watchmen as well.
That's it. Watchmen, yeah. He also did an original screenplay of his own that was shot in Canada about a werewolf and some other wolves. It might have been called Wolf. I could be wrong.
Nice.
And wouldn't be a far stretch for that, you know. And some other voice actors were in it. Jennifer Hale and
Oh wow.
Phil Hayes. And I can't recall if David put himself in it or not, but it was a fun project. I'm not Canadian, so I was not a part of it.
Well,
shot it in Canada. But
nice.
back in my younger days, I drank enough Molson that I should qualify.
yeah, I think that's part of the immigration process, right?
I think you're right. And like 2 years, suddenly the McKenzie brothers pop up. Okay, like, what do you like? Put your toque. You got a toque? Do you know what a toque is? Put it on. You like brush? Come and drink it. All right. Oh, you're not drinking enough. No, you're not good. Okay, Hoser, you're out of here.
Well, it's funny. It's funny that you should mention David. We're actually gonna potentially meet David Hayter and Cam Clark in Renton, Washington, in like 9 days or something.
Oh my!
I wanted to ask: is there any sort of weird in joke that we can mention to him that maybe will let him know that we're not just some weird fanboys, that we know Quinton Flynn?
Let's see. Well, I mean, there's something we don't talk about very often, is that the first time David and I worked together, I was playing the Human Torch and he was playing Captain America. We were both voicing them. In Spider-Man, was it The Secret Wars, I believe?
I think so.
That's what it was called. It was a 2-episode series, and you had all kinds of superheroes. I remember it being developed from the comic book. But that's where David and I actually first worked together. And that predated the Metal Gear years by a number of years. So that's something you could say. I'm reticent to say anything nasty or hard. I don't, he and I don't really have any in-jokes. One time I did call him when I was doing a panel from Wichita, Kansas, and somebody recorded that. It's on YouTube. Well, I was actually leaving him a message, but everybody thought I was pranking him. And I wasn't. I was just kind of joking around. So again, you could say that. You've probably seen it on YouTube.
Fair enough. That's awesome.
There's that. You could say, I said, hey, and that there was something he put out there about Raiden hold my hog or something strange. Have you heard about this?
What?
No.
Yeah.
Well, just
it's from some interview or some gaming thing, and somebody asked me to respond to it through like Twitter, and I go, no, no.
That's usually a good thing to do.
You could, no, I'm not interested. Thank you, but you could say, we spoke to Quinton, and he wanted to let you know that neither he nor Raiden have any intention of holding your hog.
Perfect.
Very nice.
I just Googled it, so this is going to be my search history for everybody. It's squeeze my hog.
Oh, there you go.
Apparently.
Me too movement, right? Me too.
That's so weird.
I'm going to take that bastard down.
Oh, man. Yeah, we'll get him.
Well, Quinton, speaking of meeting folks at events and conventions, do you have any upcoming events or conventions or anything like that, or performances where listeners could maybe seek you out?
I'm actually going to be in Minneapolis for Anna Minneapolis in 2 weekends from now. Calendar to tell you the exact dates, but I believe it's the weekend of the would that be the 24th, 25th, 26th of this month?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then also on the 7th of June, I will be doing there's a Ghostbusters anniversary special of the 1980s movie. It's going to be here in Los Angeles. I'll be part of that celebration. And then I will be in New Jersey for a particular convention on the 29th, which is a one-day convention that is focused on Final Fantasy. Unfortunately, I don't have my book in front of me, so I can't tell you the name, but folks can kind of do their research. I don't think it'll be hard to find.
Yeah, we can find links and stuff for the audience. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool. That's great. Yeah, I feel like we're coming up on time, so we don't want to take up too much more time. I just wanted to say on behalf of all of our listeners and every other guest that we've had on here, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to hop on. And
sure.
We typically close out our episodes with sort of a catchphrase. It's from the original Metal Gear Solid, and it's just a guard saying "It's just a box." So we find a way to somehow trip into saying that phrase, and
it's always really bad.
Yeah,
really?
It's always awful. So I wasn't sure if you had a really corny way that you wanted to segue into saying "It's just a box" to close the show out for us, Quinton.
Would I say it in my voice? Would I say it in...
You can say it in any voice you would like.
Let's see. Gosh, can it be dirty?
Absolutely.
I met this lady the other night. You know, we had a couple cocktails. She did. I don't drink. And we got heavy petting, you know, as you do. And then, you know, she kind of pulled down her chic jeans, you know, from the 80s, and I got inside her little panties. I said, "Wow, what's that between your legs?" And she said, "It's just a box." I went digging for buried treasure.
Just a box.
That was a very good Norm Macdonald style delivery. I love that. That's great.
Oh, guess what?
Oh,
what?
I remember the name of the first video store I worked at in Hollywood.
Yes.
Oh man, look at that.
2020 Video.
Oh, that's wonderful.
2020 Video.
2020 Video.
That is the most 80s video store name I've ever heard.
I know, right?
That's
back
crazy.
then I had 2020 vision, but not now.
Well, awesome.
I
Thanks again.
Excellent.
Couldn't tell the difference between a box and a blur.